It is a celebration and also heartache at the same time. Russell Wilson's not an Eagle. Welcome to the show, everybody. We have Vince Quinn flying directly in, or I can't even remember where you were, but you had to fly into Newark, which can't be good during all this news. We were so primed to have like a big, long argument for, well, probably for the rest of the week about quarterbacks and Russell Wilson, and just with me in studio here, Taylor Cordatis reacting to it as well. We couldn't wait to see how you felt, Vince Quinn. Russell Wilson's not an Eagle. Your thoughts?
Well, John, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm there for a wedding.
That's right, Charleston. That's right. Good
nice
town.
wedding.
Good town, Charleston, by the way.
Great town. Amazing town. I'm there for basically 5 days. I'm there with my girlfriend and her family. So we do this wedding. We're eating at all the hot spots. We're having nice drinks and all this stuff, walking around town, enjoying the scene, love the town. Yeah. Everything about it is amazing. And after 5 days to finally get on a plane and head on home and get back to business, I'm ready to do it. And I'm sitting there on the runway. First, I get an announcement we're delayed for 20 minutes. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sitting on this plane for an extra 20 minutes on the runway. So let me turn my phone off of airplane mode and see what's going on. And what do I see on the news is that fucking Russell Wilson is a fucking Denver Bronco. And I had no idea, because here's the crazy thing about it, right? Is this all happens. I see the news. I have all these people immediately going, oh, Vince, your life sucks. Fuck you, basically. And then the plane takes off. Now, as the plane is taking off, Spotify goes down, which means that I have no music on the plane. I have no music. Awesome. I have no podcasts. I have nothing that I can listen to. I can't scroll the internet. I'm just sitting there just stewing in Russell Wilson getting traded for 2 hours, okay? So then I land, and I see the terms of the deal, and they're terrible terms. They're god-awful terms. They traded basically nothing. It was an embarrassment on behalf of the Seattle Seahawks. Everybody who's a Seahawks fan, I personally apologize to all of you because holy shit, good luck. And then I get home, and my computer's dead. So that's my day, John. Yeah, that's my day. I'm glad you're laughing. I'm glad you're having a great time.
Yeah,
I'm as miserable as I could be, I could say.
Now, I tried to tell you for months that he was not coming here. There was no shot that he was coming here, and I'm laughing because you sent yourself on a fool's errand. You know, like you've been trying to hype this up for over a year, maybe even more, since Wentz was here, basically, or before Wentz got here. You've been the Russell Wilson guy, and that, for some sick reason, brings me joy that he's not here. I feel, and we have tried, by the way, the text line has done a hell of a job, 215-509-5833, because I just sent a bunch of texts saying, you know, what's a way that we can cheer Vince up? And from Joe to Jay to Marcel, it's just pray for Vince. Jets Hard Knocks rewatch is a suggestion for you if you wanted to do that. You know, there's a bunch of other just supportive messages. First, everyone wanted to make sure you were okay. So shout out to the text line.
I almost put on the torture scene for Braveheart. That's where I'm at.
More weight. Give me more weight.
Just tearing his body to shreds until he falls apart. Like that's legitimately what was going through my mind as I'm sitting on this plane, just stewing in it. I can't go anywhere. I couldn't talk to anybody. It was complete torture for 2 hours.
Just amazing. So David Ramos wanted me to remind you that Russell Wilson has as many Super Bowl rings as Foles, Flacco, and Rodgers. So we thought that might help you cheer you up. There's a lot of people that are, Brandon Allen's one of them, saying that like, hey, this gives you options now, Vince. This is like, you know, Johnny Damon walking away from the Oakland Athletics to the Yankees, and like, I can't imagine the possibilities now. We've got our very own Thomas Peterson who's going to join us on this episode too, and something that I want to pump you up about at the end of this episode. But he also thinks this isn't the worst idea in the world. That'll be coming up in a few minutes. Is there any silver lining for you in this at all?
Okay, here is the one thing outside of the fact that they just traded him for nothing, John. They traded him for nothing.
First of all,
they gave him away for nothing. Nobody knows That's who Shelby Harris is. Nobody's ever heard of that guy. He's never been in the NFL. He's a 30-year-old that's done nothing. And suddenly, we're all like, oh, my God, the Broncos gave up so much. Shelby Harris. No one knew him. So outside of all the junk that they gave up, which was junk. It was a
Noah Fant is not junk, sir. Noah Fant is not junk.
Fine. He's a good tight end. What is that worth? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So they traded nothing for this guy. Outside of that, here's the one thing, and it is weird because it happened today. The first time I ever had a thought of, okay, trading for Russ could be bad, was seeing Aaron Rodgers getting $50 million a year.
Which, just so you know, I know you were in the airplane. He tweeted out, yes, he signed with the Packers. No, those are not the terms of my deal thus far. So it's probably like $55 million.
I have nothing. There's no silver lining. If he signed a cap-friendly deal.
There's no way he did that. There's no way he did that. But, like, no, it's either $45 or $55 million. So, yes, you should feel a little better about that. Plus, Denver's going to have to pay Russell. That to me is the other part of this, which there's a contract extension coming almost immediately for that guy once he gets to Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to have something in the works there. But right now, for the next 2 years, he's only making like $19 million a year. He's making nothing. So if you're Denver and you have to overpay him for a couple of years, because every quarterback at the top of the market is overpaid. I don't care who you're talking about; they're all overpaid. It's just what the market is. So if that's how it's going to be, but you win the Super Bowl this year, you don't care. Von Miller tweeted yesterday that he wants to play in Denver. Do you think it's any surprise that he wants to come back? That he could leave the Rams that he literally just won with and go back to Denver because he thinks he's got a better shot.
Of course, because Russell Wilson's better than Matt Stafford and whatever's coming for the Rams. Yeah.
Yes.
100%, man.
Bad.
So but you got to realize that he was never going to get traded to an NFC team. Never. Why, like, if it's going to be that's all you can get from an AFC team, of course. I mean, the Commanders offered them 4 firsts. He's not going to go play there. Russ has to sign off on this, and if we're taking on the surface that Denver was his first choice, the Eagles had 0 shot in this. None whatsoever.
When you look at that price at some point, man, I mean, it was 2 firsts, which are going to be in separate years, and they're probably going to be pretty damn late. 2 seconds, which, again, the same thing. Then there was like a 5th or a 6th, and like they sent a 4th back with Drew Lock. Drew Lock. Are we seriously? How is Drew Lock in a trade? Like, at some point, you have to look at what's going on and go, like, guys, this isn't worth it. Like, he's not in the division. It's not like you're trading him to the 49ers, for God's sake. If you're trading him to the Eagles, you're getting 3 firsts over 2 years. You get Jalen Hurts. You get whatever else you want to add to that deal. One guy we've talked about that wants out of town that they would love in Seattle, Fletcher Cox. If it was like 2 or 3 firsts and Fletcher Cox and Jalen Hurts, sign me up. Sign me up today. Sign Seattle up for that. I think any Seattle fan would rather take that package than what Denver got. So it's like, yeah, you might not want him in the conference, but also if you're getting Drew Lock, it's like, hey guys, we got rid of one of the best quarterbacks in the league and the best we've ever had. But by the way, here's Drew Lock and a tight end. I mean, come on,
Taylor. Does any of this make sense to you from either? Like the thing that pisses me off right now, T, is there's a billion Eagles beat writers in NFL media that are going, I keep looking at this and I don't know how you could say either anybody got fleeced. I'm going, are you fucking crazy? Unless there's another shoe to drop from Seattle, they got hosed big time if that's the only deal that they could find.
It's probably one of those cases where both sides think they outsmarted each other. Like, oh yeah, we really got him with this one. It's just like, no, only one side's actually smarter, and that's probably the Broncos right now.
Yeah, and Vince, this isn't a Detroit to Rams scenario here. They're not. Seattle isn't in the middle of rebuilding. That's why I don't understand this at all. I don't get it. There's got to be something. Yeah, they are now. So what? I mean, I know that's really not important from an Eagles perspective, but I'm going, well, what's your plan here? Can't be just Drew Lock hanging out. Is it Malik Willis, by the way? They're just going to draft Malik Willis, have Drew Lock there, develop, and kind of stand pat? I mean, that would help the Eagles out in the long run if that's their plan, because you got to draft them high. So that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably taking a quarterback. Right? You can't possibly start Drew Lock. There's no argument for him. I mean, he was a second rounder to begin with, and he has sucked ever since he got into the league. Geno Smith is clearly better. I mean, miles better.
I don't know.
Yes.
I think they're like the same person with different deficiencies.
I'd rather start Geno Smith in a heartbeat, especially what he did over there. Like, that's easy. But like, if you're even just, oh God, Hurts, Minshew, anything, it's just they got to be drafting a guy. But I don't get it, man. Getting a 30-year-old defensive lineman, getting a tight end, which you can always find somebody to play tight end for you. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Well, I don't know if this is going to help. Let's go quickly to our good friend Thomas Peterson because he's got some thoughts on this where I want to take you next, and I want to get your thoughts on it too, because you should not lose your energy here, Vince, of getting somebody from Seattle. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Peterson, real quick. We had a great conversation this afternoon, and right back to Vince. Oh, man, that's taking a hell of a time. Oh, there we go. That was funky. Now it's rolling. Awesome, man. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, and ladies and gentlemen, as we were just about to have a long discussion with our good friend Thomas Peterson here about the combine, which we have plenty of time to get into. Russell Wilson decided to get traded. I'm sure you've heard that. Me and Vince have been complaining about that for a while now. We're going back and forth about it. It's been pretty fun over here. Thomas, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Of course, if you are not subscribed to Thomas's YouTube channel and you want to have massive breakdowns on everything Eagles, everything free agency, everything combine related, plug your
Nothing
channel.
Russell Wilson related, apparently, for no.
Thank God for that. Where can they find you on YouTube there, Thomas?
Breaking the Birds.
There you go, my friend. Breaking the Birds, as always. And we are so excited to finally get this thing rolling again. I think we've only talked like once during the season and now during the offseason.
It's been too little. It's been too little.
Too little, my friend.
All on my part. Way too much stuff going on.
Well, that's that's true for all of us here, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's start with just your quick thoughts on Russell and all that. How does this change free agency for the Eagles in your mind?
So of course, first things first is we need to check up on Vince to see how he's doing.
Well, I not well. We'll just put it that. Hopefully, by the end of this conversation,
I peeked his Twitter. It doesn't look good.
No,
it does not look good.
He literally tweeted, "I would rather my flight to Newark just drive itself into the sun or fly itself into the sun." I guess.
Oh no,
drive a plane, but it's kind of like that, man. But is there any like silver linings for Vince Quinn here?
I think it adds an intriguing question of whether or not Seattle are going to be in full rebuild mode right now, looking at the QB market, and of course, Aaron Rodgers staying with Green Bay, and now Russell Wilson moving. Deshaun Watson's case has not been, as far as I'm concerned, has not moved just an inch. I mean, that whole thing remains to be seen what actually goes on with that, and even if the legal stuff gets clear with Deshaun Watson, we still don't know if he's going to get suspended, if he's going to get on the commissioner exempt list, because the NFL runs their own investigation, and we've seen before how they suspend players even though there's been no legal issue has been verified or not verified. So none of these moves that have been made today have the intention of pursuing Deshaun Watson, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, we also saw Chris Godwin get franchise tagged. Devontae Adams obviously got franchise tagged. Mike Williams signed a deal with the Chargers. So the big three-headed group here for the wide receivers, they're out. And we also have Calvin Ridley.
Which is just ridiculous.
I mean,
all of it combined. Him, the league's reaction to it, all of it. Yeah.
That's just absurd. But so that goes out the window. He's not going to be traded. At least hope not this offseason. But then it opens the door for a guy like DK Metcalf, who has been rumored earlier, actually way early in the offseason, even before the whole Russell Wilson trade talks really started to catch heat. If the Seahawks wanted to move up in the first or get an extra first round pick this year, that they would be able to move DK Metcalf for an early to mid round first round pick. And so that caught a little bit of surprise. Like, okay, Russell Wilson seemed pretty clear that he wanted to remain with Seattle, but here you have DK Metcalf trade rumors, even though that appears to be the case, and now you don't have Russell Wilson. So it becomes a legit question if he is going to be a QB there with Drew Luck, and who's their backup? I mean, it's just not a good situation for him right now. And even like if the case was for Deshaun Watson, that's why I brought that up. If that was the idea, bringing on Noah Fant and getting a guy like Deshaun Watson in there with DK Metcalf, that would make sense, but it doesn't because of the whole legal case. And I'm not convinced that the first round quarterbacks in this year's draft, those aren't guys that you think, oh, these are going to be top 3 locks in the draft. So does DK Metcalf want out? Do they want a future where they're going into next year's draft with 2 first-round picks?
Well, I mean, Thomas,
first-round picks.
Exactly, and that's where my mind went to immediately. That's why I'm excited. I'm trying to console Vince here that this opens the door for DK Metcalf and a very serious problem that the Eagles have had since the beginning of time. They can't develop wide receivers, and that's why DeVonta Smith working out so well and just being as polished as he is like a whew. So I want to start there. Like, I would be willing to give up 15, 16, or 19. You pick one, Seattle, and let's see if we can move the needle there. You've got to pay him. Seattle doesn't look like they want to do that, or at least that's where you were kind of suggesting those offseason rumors of rebuilding, tearing it down, doing whatever. But if you're debating a guy like Treylon Burks, who both me and Vince love, absolutely, from Arkansas, are you saying that's a better thing to do right now? Or would you go and just knock on Seattle's door and see if they would take one of those first-round picks for DK right now?
Yeah, so good question, because it comes down to what's your whole philosophy going into the draft. Because if you don't do the deal and you don't sign a Allen Robinson, a Amari Cooper, I
forgot to add him to my list. Thank you. Sorry.
if you don't add one of these guys and you go into the draft thinking, we're going to take a guy like Treylon Burks, and suddenly you have a team in front of the Eagles who say, oh, Treylon Burks looked like the next A.J. Brown, just with more dynamic ability. He's more explosive. We're going to take him way early in this draft. Then suddenly you're staring at a situation where you didn't secure the wide receiver 2 spot. You're kind of in a position where you might want to reach for another guy potentially. So it kind of puts you in a pickle because you're already over the free agency period at that point. And so you're just leaving yourself a little bit vulnerable. That being said, if you can get a guy on a 4-year rookie contract who basically brings you the same skill set, of course, who wouldn't pick that? If you're guaranteed Treylon Burks is going to be 90% of what DK Metcalf is, then of course you're going to go with that route. But if you're Howie Roseman and you selected J.J. Arcega-Whiteside instead of DK Metcalf, and now you have an opportunity to get a guy who is 6'4", who complements Quez Watkins and DeVonta Smith, who he's not the deep burner, he's not the freakishly athletic route runner, but he is the guy you throw the ball up to, and a 50-50 ball isn't a 50-50 ball anymore. And it's the safety blanket for a guy like Jalen Hurts, who maybe doesn't have the most accurate ball right now, but it doesn't matter when you have a guy like DK Metcalf who can out-physique cornerbacks and get that ball for a Jalen Hurts. So you're basically saying we're getting a 24. He's 24. He doesn't turn 25 until late next December, I think it is.
Yep.
So he's 24. He's an all-pro. You already missed on him once. I'll make the call simply out of the risk that you're not gonna get a Treylon Burks, or Treylon Burks doesn't work out, because how his leash for wide receiver is so small right now. He has to hit. He hit on DeVonta Smith, and that is his ticket. Not only did he hit, he also got a first-round pick in the process.
And not to mention, you're also losing 2 of your top guys. More than likely, Andy Weidel is going to move to Pittsburgh. At least that's what I keep assuming.
We'll see.
And that's it. I just think that's another major deficiency. Now
they lost a lot already, so
they did. And you brought up Amari Cooper, which is interesting because there's 2 Cowboys on the free agent list essentially, even though it looks like Michael Gallup is going to lock up a long-term deal with the Cowboys. I'm just anti that because I know it never works out. It never has in the history of it, no matter how many times we try and will it. But including him in this field of Allen Robinson, DJ Chark, Christian Kirk, Maybe even an outside shot at OBJ, although I really do think he just resigns with the Rams.
Yeah, I think he does too.
Between all of that, is there, like, to me, you said it too, Mike Williams, large contract, and that's another reason why I think DK is the way over some of these guys. Anyway, you're going to pay for a veteran, and if you're saying, like, well, you don't want to lose the pick as well, none of those guys are 24, like you pointed out. And I for some reason, I've complained to this with our good friend Taylor Crudatis as well. This is something that Eagles Twitter wanted since the beginning of time. You should have drafted DK Metcalf. And now that there's a possible chance of doing that, you're going to talk yourself into Allen Robinson, who's not as good. You're going to talk yourself into DJ Chark because it's just better for the cap room or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have to pay somebody at some time. And now Eagles Twitter thinks like DK is a little too much just based on some of my mentions that are going back and forth there. I would do this over any free agent wide receiver at this point in time, now that we know that Ridley's off the board, now that we know that Mike Williams is off the board. Allen Robinson, I love to death, but not like you're going to pay him relatively close of what you would pay DK, and he's 28, and he's just not as good. You know,
right.
Like, so in your mind, are you going DK over free agency at that point? Is that your also your option here?
Yeah, I think so setting up the two scenarios, I would imagine if the Eagles were to pay, if they were to go for a guy like Amari Cooper or trade for DK Metcalf, they'd have to pay him as well. Mm-hmm. And the market pretty much just set with Mike Williams getting $20 million per year. So they could do, if they're going to pay Amari Cooper or they're going to pay trade and pay for DK Metcalf, that's got to be $20 million probably for Amari Cooper, maybe even more for DK Metcalf. They could, like, his age taken into consideration, he might be staring at, or maybe it's a 5-year contract instead of a 4-year, and that knocks a little bit off of the per year, but around that $20 million. Whereas you could look at a situation with Allen Robinson, $14 million per year, 2-3-year contract. He gets a big payday at he's 28 years old. He gets it until he's like 31, and then you go and draft the guy because you want that guy to be the replacement for Allen Robinson. And when his contract is up, then you have the cap room to pay your draft pick. Does that make sense? So either you're really confident in DeVonta Smith and Quez Watkins to a level where you say, we just need to add one more guy and we're set for 5 years, and then we'll pay DeVonta Smith and everything's good. Or you go with the route, you say, we want to draft another guy and develop him, but also bring in that mid-tier Allen Robinson type guy, still have money for e.g. like a safety in free agency, or I don't know, like depth defensive end. But I think the Eagles have the flexibility to really pay a guy because they're going to be off of Carson Wentz's contract. We don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to get extended at that point, and if he doesn't, then you're staring at
probably a no.
Probably a no.
Yeah.
I mean, most likely a no. And so you're not really going to be tied into any major QB contracts within the next 7 years, 6 years. So you have an opportunity to add a big-time guy at this point. And I think if we were looking at a guy like DK Metcalf, I would do it simply because of his age. You can pay him for 5 years, and he'll be 29 when the contract is up. It is a unique. I always have this principle. If you're going to pay big money for someone, and you're going to spend major assets on it, there have to be top 5 of that position. That's why a guy like Williams, the safety from Saints, he's a guy I would pay top safety money for because he's one of the best safeties in the league. Yeah. He's been it for I don't know how long, and he's 25. So when the age makes sense with the skill set, and you can pay him and be confident that he is the guy, they'll do it. Simply because you're adding a difference maker.
See, this is why we invite you onto the pod, because Thomas Peterson just says all the things that I like to hear and probably makes Vince very mad, and that's why I love it, man. Well, we'll keep it short and concise for today. I still appreciate you coming on, man. I think that's great, valid insight of where kind of my head was going to, and later on in the month, I really want to dive deep into that, because maybe you can convince me that Treylon Burks is too sexy, and he is
too sexy. I will say he is too sexy.
Real quick, anything from the combine, anything overall that caught your eye? I know, like, it made me fall more in love with Jordan Davis, but anything that kind of stood out to you, either negatively or positively, after the combine?
There are so many freakishly athletic players in general in this draft. And it just serves so well to where the Eagles need help. The defensive end position is so stacked.
Yes.
It couldn't have come at a better time. In what draft do you go into it with a mid-round pick like 15, 16, 19 and be confident that you can land a day one starter at the defensive end position? Usually those guys have gone in the top 10 and you're staring at projects. That's not going to be the case right here. There's 5 guys: George Kalafkis, Aiden Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Jermaine Johnson, and David Ojabo. All 5 of those guys can theoretically be top 10 picks if the right team falls in love with them. But one of them is going to fall. This is simply going to be the case. And I'm here for it.
And I'm ready for Willis to go like top 5 because somebody really likes him, and you know, there's going to be overdraft of at least 2 quarterbacks. That's what I feel too. So
there is
even more to your point.
I didn't even include Travon Walker. That's because I'm not as high on him as too many others. But his hype is over the top right now. He's going to be a top 10 pick, and I'm going to be excited about it because there's somebody else is going to drop.
I can't wait to get into that more with you, bud. That'll be fun. Yep. And especially the edge class. Everybody in our mention was hyped up about the edge class, so there's going to be some good debates in there as well. In it, Thomas R. Peterson, and that's Peter, like, you know, Peter Sen. And it's Thomas R. Peterson 93. Is that how I have that right?
RP93. I cut out the Peterson part of it because it's very difficult, obviously.
Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and make sure to subscribe on the YouTube as well, and we will talk to you very soon, my friend. Okay, Vinny Quinn, it's time, baby. I want you to take all that fucking hate that you have right now for not getting Russell Wilson, and the Eagles, this fan base, and us can correct a very big wrong here. DK Metcalf, let's fucking go. You know, like, unless they are going to draft somebody at the QB position, there's no way DK wants to hang out with Drew Lock in a very pivotal year that he needs to go make money. Same with like Lockett and the rest. I wonder if it turns into like a Dame Lillard. No, we're gonna stay here because it's harder type of thing for one of those two. But go get DK Metcalf, man. Why aren't you pumped at least for that as a silver lining? Pick 15, 16, or 19, and I'm in. Hands down. Let's go.
I don't know how you expect me to be excited about anything right now. I'm excited. I can't get excited. Do you know who you're talking to right now? I just got divorced at the fucking altar, man. I just died today.
Well, what's your outlook for this? What's your outlook for the season then? Like, if this is this the death nail for you? Are you done?
Dude, I got to reevaluate everything now. I mean, because, like, here's the thing. The biggest thing that we argued about a lot was just whether he was even going anywhere, period. He moved, man. The Seattle traded him. And he went for a terrible package, and I'm crushed, man.
No, man.
If they paid, they could have gotten him.
I think Ashley Woods actually pointed it out beautifully. You bought into every little signal. He said Philly cheesesteak because like his Sierra was talking about it at the Seattle Food Market or whatever it was, and every little hint of like, oh, they don't actually mean this. He was never on the list for the Eagles. That's what we do. That's what we debated. There's a chance that he was going to move, and John Clayton kind of looks like an ass now because, you know, he was very adamant that he was going to stay in Seattle this year, which, you know, I bought into a little bit as well. But
yeah,
I mean, it's your own fault. If it's your own fault, you gassed yourself up so much that this is a sure thing. You read Jimmy Kempski's article in the Philly Voice explaining, oh, this is why Russell Wilson's actually good, which no one needed an explanation about, by the way. My whole argument was, how much is it going to cost? Is he on the list? And when you put those things together, it probably wasn't going to happen for the Eagles. Just was not.
Dude, we had Schefter and Mortensen saying it was going to happen, man.
I've read Howie's emails too. It doesn't mean anything.
Schefter and Mortensen, they said it could happen. Like, they were there on some. This was not like a complete fever dream fantasy. There was enough here to believe that they actually had a shot at this guy, and it didn't happen. Like, I'm stunned that Howie didn't pull the trigger.
The
I'm
Eagles
stunned.
have always been involved in some big free agent, some big trade, something or other. I feel as though they're used as pawns in this every single time because Russell Wilson to Philadelphia makes sense in some dumb logic that, that you keep using all the time of like, oh, it was supposed to happen in 2012, so he wants to finish the job? No. Like this is a calculated, I want to go win another ring. I want to air it out. I want to be better than Aaron Rodgers by the time that I reach 38. And this is my Mr. Unlimited version of whatever it is, man. Like, this is your fault. If you're mad at anybody, it's your fault, and it's your expectations of taking the small nugget that Schefter and Morton knew because they read everybody else's emails and know what's going on, first and foremost. So, like, of course they're going to do a favor for Howie Roseman and or Pete Carroll and or whoever during lying season because you got to make deals. And, like, I think you were on track with, he's going on all these late night shows. Pete Carroll saying they're both saying the complete opposite things of what actually happened today. But that's part of lying season. That's a part of this. That's part of Pete trying to get a little more out of the Denver Broncos when he says the Commanders offered us 4 firsts and Chicago offered us this and Philadelphia's still hanging in the wings and look at them. They've got 3 first-round picks and they're willing to do X, Y, and Z. So they just needed a little more from Denver to make it all right in their heads. That's what you're getting. Morton and Schefter are there to drive up the price, baby. That's it.
Yeah, dude, I need a little more scotch today.
Ooh, that was also recommended. I think Olivia and some others said like you might need a little something stronger than Liquid Death or something paired along with it, like a scotch or a whiskey. So, do you have scotch available? Is that possible to do?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
I do. We can. You know what? Let me just unplug the phone charger here. Let's go.
Nice code. Well, while you're walking, I will once again say liquiddeath.com/Bell as I am sipping down the huge black can of sparkling water that they get straight from the Alps as well. This is why we love them. It becomes instantly cold as soon as it goes into your fridge. At least it feels like it. I mean, wait 2 to 3 hours like a normal person does. That's not actually true. But, the flaming skulls, it looks like you're drinking an IPA, an energy drink, a something other than water. And that's kind of part of it with the tailgate atmosphere, the party atmosphere, wherever you're at. For the Sixers run, whatever your flavor is, it's one of the best drinking waters in a can that you will find, and pretty much the only water in a can that we know of or want to associate ourselves with. So 16.9 fluid ounces of water from the Alps with bubbles, not bubbles, and flavored bubbles now. Everybody's mentioning the mango chainsaw, which is like everyone's favorite. So we will have to get some more of that, a.k.a. Mike, anytime you're ready, pal. To send that over, but liquiddeath.com/Bell to get free shipping on every case that you order through Liquid Death. So what kind of scotch do you have for us here, my friend?
This is Dewar's, John. It's about, I want to say 3.4 ounces. This is a pretty heavy pour.
Oh, look at that, Taylor. Vince is an 85-year-old man at the bar ordering Dewar's. Neat or on the rocks there, pal?
No rocks.
Oh, it's neat.
My man.
Neat.
You get my respect for that. So with this scotch, are you out on free agency? Are you less hype about the draft? Like, how far is this extending right now?
I mean, it's like any bad breakup, like I'll get over it, but I just need time, dude.
Like you're stalking somebody on Instagram and they just got a boyfriend.
Are you unliking all of your Russell Wilson pictures and like
deleting all the thirst trap comments?
No, our relationship was real. It was spectacular. I don't regret it. I have no regrets, but fucking Drew Lock, man. Come on.
Do you feel as though you need to write a letter to either like the Seattle organization or Russell Wilson directly?
No, Russ is gone. I'm not that guy. When the relationship's over, the relationship's over. I'm moving on, but I got to take a couple of days. I got to sit. It's a whole different thing now. I mean, if you're trading all these ones and you're getting a quarterback and let's fucking go, conference is wide open, all that kind of stuff. Hurts is probably sticking around now. All right, like I will acknowledge that fact that Jalen Hurts is very likely your starting quarterback this year.
Well,
So I gotta reframe everything.
Let's touch on that for 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Because there has been, while you were in there has been some sleuthing going back and forth. Joe Banner, once again, is bringing up Deshaun Watson. He also had a lot of, imagine this, Aaron Rodgers gets a deal, Russell Wilson gets traded, and suddenly there's a little clarity with the Watson trial, as apparently he's going to plead the fifth during his deposition that is on Monday. This is all according to Tom Pelissero. Joe Banner has brought up the idea that he is, I mean, this would be infinitely worse of missing Russ and then going after Watson, right?
Oh, God. And this is typical Howie Roseman bargain shopping bullshit, isn't it? It's like, oh, well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is making $50 million a year, but Deshaun Watson, I mean, he can't make that. He can't ask for a raise. He's a loser right now. Oh, Houston eats all the money. Like, the dollar value is going to be blinding. And I could easily see him. Yeah, is it, we trade to a one? I mean, what is the price for Deshaun Watson right now?
I don't even want to think about it, to be honest.
It's a one and Noah Togiai, apparently. That's all it takes. Let's trade our fourth string tight end and a one, and you get Deshaun Watson.
Noah Fant has just climbed from one of the best tight ends to nobody, according to Vince Quinn.
He's basically a Perkins gift card. So if that's what you're trading, like, yeah, I can get why Howie's just like, oh yeah, like was it Jay-Z in that meme where he's like rubbing his hands together that always gets put out there, like. It's that he's just like, oh, the contract value and all. So I can see him doing it. God, going and I've always said this, going from Jalen Hurts to Deshaun Watson is so gross on so many levels.
Especially the way that they've handled the press conferences, tripled down essentially that Jalen's our guy for this year. I don't see it happening. Joe Banner's a lot smarter than all of us when it comes to this stuff. I'm just saying it sounds like they haven't taken that off the table.
No.
Howie's comments from the combine saying you can't go down the middle of the fucking road. You got to go left or right and all this other stuff and make some, I don't know. I hope that dies down pretty quickly. I would rather them draft 3 quarterbacks with 15, 16, and 19 than have to deal with Deshaun Watson coming in here.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the guy could go to jail. Like, it's 22 cases or 20. Come on. What are we even talking about? It's like, let him be somebody else's problem. That's the thing. I don't, as much as Watson, like, again, value and all that, but like, is that really who you want? Just as a person, I don't want to root for that guy. I don't want the Eagles to be buried with this guy. Hurts is nothing but positive energy. I would rather see the guy that I actually like fail because he's not good enough than watch Watson come in and play well. I really would.
There it is. So hey, that's right there. I never thought we would agree on anything regarding Jalen Hurts. There's a bridge right there. How about it?
Yeah, excuse me while I jump off it.
If it comes down to one of the worst ideas in the world at quarterback, or who should be a franchise quarterback versus Jalen Hurts, at least you're on Jalen Hurts' side there. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
It's something, I guess. But yeah, I gotta re-rack everything now, dude. I got to re-rack everything.
I've never heard Vince Quinn so depressed before Taylor Crudaz. Have you?
It's his identity just got taken away from him on this podcast.
But he did it himself.
Who is he on Bell and the Birdmen now?
Oh, yeah, he's that guy that wanted Russell Wilson twice.
Now who are you?
Yeah, who are you, Vince Quinn?
I'm nobody.
This is the saddest. Here you go. Yeah, this will cheer you up. Our good friend Jeff Schramm out in Chicago says on the text line, tell him that Howie is working on getting Jimmy G and for a second rounder. Does that make you feel better?
Jimmy G. It's a sick, twisted thing to suggest. Hey guys, we didn't get Russell Wilson. You missed out on this beautiful Porsche, but by the way, here's a shitty rusted Volkswagen Bug. Yeah, thanks. No.
Just need to buff out a few dents, that's all. It's clean as a whistle.
Just squint your eyes really tight.
Stefan says that I should buy you some fresh Taco Bell. Does that ease the pain? Release your bowels. I know that. I don't. You know.
Oh, well, yeah. And I might be clearing those out with the scotch. We'll see how we do. But yeah, I mean, Taco Bell's pretty good. If there's that Mexican place that I love by us at the studio.
Oh, yeah.
I ordered the.
What is that place, Taylor?
I ordered the tortas.
Yeah, they're
El
so
Limon.
good. El Limon. Yeah. They're kind of like franchised in a couple of towns out here. Yes, El
An
Limon.
El Limon torta could make me less sad. I'll say not happy, but less sad.
What's Vince's new lane now?
Yeah, I think your new lane should be
the Derek Barnett comeback tour.
Ooh, I like that. No, I mean, like, you are.
God, no! Don't you put your lanes on me, Taylor. Don't. That's your lane. You stay in that lane.
I mean, we did talk about it. I think you were the Traylon Burks guy before I was. So, like, I still think that's your lane for now. Is that I'm going to go the other way and just DK my face off for the rest of the offseason until it happens. That's my plan.
Yeah, I feel like I was punched in the DICK. So it's, yeah. Traylon Burks, I'm still in on that. But now, like, looking at the draft, it's all different. Free agency plans, it's all different. Now you're getting all the tags. By the way, like, side note for a moment, a lot of guys are getting tagged, man. And, like, Mike Williams getting that deal. So he's got, like, 4 years, $60 million out of the Chargers. You got to figure Devontae Adams is going to stay with the Packers, so he's not going to be
he got
available.
tagged as well. Yep.
Chris Godwin got tagged.
Yep.
Like, the guy had a torn ACL this year. They lost Tom Brady, and they still tagged him. I mean, my God. So, I don't know. Like, we'll see where it goes, but I think Allen Robinson is still a hot name, and Chark, and you know. But
you're going to go that
I'd
route.
rather versus some of those guys. Like, I'd rather draft somebody. Also, wait, can we get real side note for a second, but holy shit, Calvin Ridley. What
yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, we touched on that just for a second, but like that kind of, if that didn't start popping all the wins out of the free agent trades for wide receivers, like that was the first shot across the bow. And you know what? Can I say something about that, Vince? And feel free to chime in if you feel the same way.
Yeah.
Kind of feel the same way about the whole Ben Simmons situation and using mental health, because that's what they said was the problem with Calvin Ridley, is that he's going through mental health issues and he's just shutting it down for a while. Well, how about getting fucking caught betting $1,500 when everyone knows the goddamn rule, and then you're using mental health? Fuck you, man. How about that? That instantly made me, whoever it was, agent, the team, the decision to blanket it that way, total fucking bullshit, and I don't think anybody's brought that up today.
I mean, I think you could still place a bet and be sad or whatever, like whatever he's dealing with. But like my tough thing is, I never knew if it was legit. I still don't know if it's legit with him or not. I mean, I doubt it too. I'm totally with you that I doubt it. I think he's full of shit.
And if I'm wrong, I apologize. But like, come on, man. This is when I think of Brandon Brooks, when I think of Lane Johnson, who do that and come out and say this is why I'm doing it. And it cheapens that bullshit, because Brandon Brooks seriously did have a physical reaction to his anxiety, and I don't know if that's what he specifically used or his agents used when they came out. I'm speaking to Calvin Ridley, but like mental health, and you get this, you have no idea what anybody's experiencing, and then that fucking story comes out. If you're having anxiety about getting caught for something illegal and there's going to be an investigation, you might be pinned down for a year of your career, yes. I understand that, but you brought that on yourself, sir. Anyway, just my 2 cents.
Benjamin Button, which, by the way, you shocked me with that, dude. I didn't realize that guy was 28. Are you kidding me?
Drafted as the same reason why we all said Cooper Kupp is a warning sign, whoops, is the same reason that I think, Calvin Ridley's fine at 24.
Dude, yeah, I thought if he was like 25, I still didn't want to pay a 1 for him, but holy shit, people wanted to give up a first-round pick and pay a 28-year-old? Like, are we really in this economy? Are you kidding me? Like, it was crazy.
Got to remember something about Eagles Twitter. Once we have a name, we lock it in, and they're worth everything. Everybody's worth every first-rounder so far this offseason.
Except apparently Russell Wilson. So, yeah, great. That's great. I'm glad that Shelby Harris, or whatever the hell his name is, I'm glad he's going to really put the Seahawks over the top.
Well, we're gonna let Vince enjoy his scotch after getting off a very long week, an extended weekend. And I'm proud of you and Dana, and especially Dana, who's got to put up with this shit all week. So shout out to her. But any final thoughts here, bud? And we can expand on this later in the week when you get back in studio, because I feel like this is the worst. Taylor said, like I said, this is the worst I've ever seen Vince. I've never seen you like this, so I do feel bad now a little. I'm giving you 12 hours.
You know what makes it even worse, John? I'm moving this week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he's moving this week. But hey, congratulations, you're moving into civilization. From New Brunswick to Philadelphia. We made it.
Wait, you're not moving to Denver?
If anything, I might drive there and find the highest peak and take a leap. That's about as far as it goes.
There's only one thing that you need to do, just like your random Super Bowl 52 champions Patriots shirt. Custom Russell Wilson Eagles jersey, obviously, or just go full bore and let's go find you an orange number 3. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking I need a Drew Lock Seattle shirt. That's gotta be around.
I love this.
A Drew Lock Seattle shirt would be the funniest thing ever.
Well, tell us what you think you could do for Vince to help cheer him up, and maybe we can do that on the pod over the next couple of weeks. You can text us 215-509-5833 at Bell and the Bird on every social, or join our Discord, which I believe Russell Wilson also broke Discord today as well. So that was nice to see.
Discord, Spotify, and my heart, they're all in the same day.
Vince Quinn, I will give you however long you want for your final thoughts as we close up this Bell and the Birdmen episode.
Look, it's fucking Russell Wilson, guys. It's Russell Wilson. He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. The guy's a phenomenal talent. Denver's going to make it. Denver's minimum in the conference championship this year. And we're going to be like, all right, well, who we drafted in the first round? By the way, never remembered any of that Russell Wilson stuff didn't happen. So, yeah, get excited for that, I guess. Get excited. There you go. Have fun.
Broncos
I'm
go
11-6
and get bounced in their first playoff game. Book it.
You're out of your goddamn mind. You're out of your mind.
Do we understand what division Russell Wilson just entered, by the way? Just want to point that out there. I mean, it is the AFC West with Herbert, with Patrick Mahomes, and please God get Derek Carr out of there, which, hey, baby, consolation prize. Here comes Derek Carr to the Eagles. That'll make you fired up, right?
Oh, God. I can't love another right now, John. Don't do this to me.
You haven't been flirting with anybody?
No, I'm a singularly focused man, okay? Me and Dana have been together for 5 years. These eyes don't wander. All right? I'm a focused man. I
just wander to the doers.
The relationship's over. So if Dana breaks up with me, I'll do the same thing. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Drink scotch and be at the side of your bed and wonder what the fuck happened. I'd be doing the same. I'd be doing the exact same. Vince Quinn, I love you. Hopefully we can get over this because, hey, listen, baby, it's Marlon Mack season. We still got one to go.
If Marlon Mack goes to the Broncos, kill me. Just don't even.
Miles Sanders to the Broncos, Marlon Mack from the Colts to the Eagles. That's what I'd like to see. There you go.
Mack's a free agent, man. You can just scoop him right up.
Right. There you go. I forgot about that. You don't have to do that anymore.
If they don't sign Marlon, and if he goes to Denver, I'm going to be so fucking mad. I'm going to be so mad.
Both guys you wanted? Oh, my God. Cancel the pod if that happens. Unreal. For Taylor Cordatis doing an outstanding job, as always, for the drunken Vince Quinn, or actually I should say the beginning of drunken Vince Quinn.
Yeah, call me in an hour.
I am John Barchard here for Bell and the Birdmen, and we will have some very exciting moving news of our own. We're going to tell you about that next week. Until then, bellandthebirdmen.com. Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right.
I'm leaving that in.
Yes, definitely. That's the Easter egg.